you ready, Christina?
Sorry. Yes. I know. I don't know. That's weird. Interesting.
Is it going? Yep. Okay. It is 6 o'clock. I'm calling to order the Downtown Development Authority regular meeting, August 11th, 6 p.m. Can we stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you to our guests for coming tonight. Can we have a roll call? Hillary?
Coxey,
Here.
Greenway,
Here.
Wingelmeyer, Elliott,
Here.
Allgaier here, Herrick,
Here.
Raska,
Here.
Stauffer,
Here. I'll entertain a motion to excuse John Wingelmeyer from the meeting.
I make a motion to accept his absence.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Sorry, I never heard you say my name, Hillary.
I'm sorry, I thought I had Brandon here. I thought I missed you, I'm sorry. Sorry, well, just tabulated.
Okay, you have before you the agenda for tonight's meeting. I do believe we have one amendment. Go ahead, Jerome.
Yes, I'd like to amend the agenda, new business, add an item 3, historical museum.
Is that a motion?
That was.
Okay, can I get support?
Support.
Are there any discussion on the amendment? No? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Agenda is so amended. We're going to enter into, oh, I'm sorry, you were right. Okay, can we get a motion to approve the amended?
Motion to approve the amended agenda.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the amended agenda is approved. Okay, we're going to enter into our PA 57 session. And Hillary, part of your presentation, is it to explain what we're doing here, or do we need to do that ahead of time? Is it part of your presentation as to what is the
No, it's
requirement? Okay. PA 57, for those that aren't aware, is the public act that DDAs are chartered under and that we have to follow. There are two meeting requirements that we must do for the public, and it's really to let everybody know what we have accomplished in the last year, and then another one to set out what our agenda is for the following year. So we're a little bit behind because of not having a full-time director, so we're playing a little bit of catch-up, and we're going to have one this evening, and then another one in October. And then going forward, we'll have them spaced out a little bit more, and again, it'll be more looking forward and what we accomplished based upon the time of the year. Did I do an okay job on that? All right. Okay, so we're going to let Hillary kick that off.
So thank you guys for attending our information session tonight. The first thing that we're gonna go over is our mission statement, and if you're not familiar with that, it is the mission of Main Street Holly's Downtown Development Authority to create a long-term, economically stable, prosperous, vibrant, and energetic business district, applying the concepts of historic preservation for economic development. The Holly DDA will assist in Holly business opportunities, retaining and expanding current business opportunities, preserving downtown charm through partnerships with the community and stakeholders for a prosperous future. And then which brings us into our vision statement, which was rewritten in our work plans in our previous year. So Main Street Holly's vision for the North End, Midtown, and downtown is to provide diverse options for dining, retail, arts, and entertainment while capitalizing on the unique historic and quaint environment found in the Holly community. Through strategic partnerships and collaborative efforts, Main Street Holly strives to build a town that reflects our aspirations and values by fostering a growing and energetic district that serves as the heart of our community. We aim to create a place where people love to live, work, and play, and for the residents and visitors to experience a welcoming environment that promotes and enriches a thriving district, contributes to the overall prosperity and well-being of the greater community. We aspire to transform our town into a pedestrian-friendly destination characterized by beautiful streetscapes and inviting public spaces. Our vision includes preserving and enhancing the historical and architectural charm of our town while embracing innovative and viable practices to shape a modern and resilient environment. Main Street Holly envisions a place where entrepreneurs and businesses thrive, benefiting from a supportive and robust local economy. We will actively encourage and support the establishment and growth of businesses and create a dynamic marketplace through the district. So for those of you that don't know what a DDA is, the DDAs are enabled through the state of Michigan's Public Act 57 to prevent the deterioration in downtowns throughout Michigan. The district and its boundaries were established by the Village of Holly by adopting a downtown development plan and tax increment financing plan that we call TIF. The DDA oversees the operations, maintenance, beautification, development projects, economic and marketing programs, business recruitment, and business assistance. The Holly DDA and Main Street Holly operate together under the bylaws set forth by the organization. Main Street Holly focuses on the historic downtown core, while the Holly DDA works on the entire larger Holly TIF area. A Main Street program and Downtown Development Authority are both tools used for downtown revitalization and economic development, but have distinct structures, goals, and methods. So we'll first look at the Main Street approach, which is the 4 pillars that we go by, which is a comprehensive approach to community transformation with economic vitality, design, organization, and promotion. The design team focuses on the physical and visual aspects of the transformation strategy, including buildings, public spaces, signage, and infrastructure. Members bring up expertise in fields like architecture, planning, design, and historic preservation. The Economic Vitality Team strengthens the district's economy by supporting existing businesses, attracting new ones, securing funding, and managing development initiatives. Members often have expertise in business, finance, real estate, or economic development. Our promotions team markets the district through events, retail promotions, and image-building campaigns. Members may have skills in marketing, PR, design, and event planning. Events also rely on volunteers from schools, civic groups, and community organizations. And then the organization team ensures the program has the funding volunteers and partnerships need to carry out its mission. Members often have experience in management, fundraising, PR, or leadership. So first we're going to go into our design committee. The design team is responsible for implementing all aspects of the transformation strategy that involve physical and visual components, including building rehabilitation, infill development, public spaces, signs, window displays, logos, transportation, and parking. Design team members include people with expertise in architecture, as well as people with strong appreciation for an understanding of the physical characteristics that help make an older or historic commercial district work well. So I'm gonna let Jerome, he's our design committee chair, go over the accomplishments of 2024 to 2025.
Okay, we finalized previous grant requirements, which were the Ganshaw Park and Battle Alley container gardens and things that were added. We sandblasted and power-coated trash cans, oversaw the installation of wayfinding signs in historic Battle Alley. We oversaw the restoration and painting of the gazebo in Ganshaw Park, coordinated and installed fall decor in the downtown area, expanded and coordinated the installation of holiday lighting last holiday season, coordinated selection of planting for all of this summer's plantings and the large containers in Battle Alley, created, promoted, and implemented Adopt a Garden program so that we could have community involvement, which has become quite the success, remained active in the Holly Depot relocation and fundraising, and secured a sponsor for the community room naming of the depot. And I wanted to also add that we have facade grant continuing opportunities for our businesses.
Nice. So then our Economic Vitality Committee is responsible for improving the economic performance of the district. Its responsibilities include helping existing businesses better meet the needs of customers and expand their sales, developing and attracting new businesses, ensuring that adequate capital is available to support business and property development, and creating and managing tools and incentives to encourage and support business and property development. Economic Vitality team members might include people with expertise in business management, real estate development, finance, or economic development. And I'm going to let Mr. Elliott explain their accomplishments.
Okay, thank you. Some of these are kind of carryover items from when Nick was executive director and he was leading that. Some of these are also just new initiatives that we've been working on more recently. But we've continued the process of administering grants and making those publicly available to all the businesses that are out there. A nice event, we did have a couple of members attend Oakland County Showcase event, which allowed us to highlight, and in this case specifically really focused in on the Holly Hotel within Oakland County to potential investors or potential buyers. We initiated development of a how to start a business in Holly kind of flow chart, just really kind of all the information needed in one quick, efficient spot. We worked with Chief Watson and I believe Village Manager, Mr. Price, to go ahead with that. That's really come together well, and it's my understanding that it'll soon be on the website and be a tremendous tool for folks. One of the things we try to focus in on are the vacant buildings and properties that we've got. We have had contact with the listing agents, and we try to extend our support and any resources, as well as try to get up-to-date information as to what may be going on with those type of properties. Often worked with Chief Watson and the Chamber to welcome new businesses, continuing offering the DDA facade grants to various businesses. We continue development and maintenance of a building owner list. And that's something that we've got, and it'll be on our website too, but that's really come together quite recently and has been updated, and putting in a process that we can keep that updated and maintained. There's a new group we've been made aware of called Holly First that's kind of started recently in town. I've reached out to them and just had some initial discussions about any partnership opportunities or any real opportunities where we could find ourselves working on common objectives. that's something we're just really in the initial stages of, but look forward to seeing what that may involve. And lastly, we just continue to try to connect and work with new businesses and connect them to building owners that are currently in the district.
So then the organization committee is responsible for ensuring that the program has volunteers and fundraising so that we can meet the needs of our transformation strategy. And Linda's gonna go over the accomplishments there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this one for Hillary, because I was the chair of this committee, but Hillary has now taken over that, but just to give her voice a little bit of a rest. So some of our accomplishments in the last year, we completed comprehensive business inventory and cluster analysis, and we identified key economic drivers and growth opportunities. We did this research prior to us adopting a transformation strategy. So we had a very good response in going out to the public and identifying areas where maybe we weren't meeting their needs of what type of businesses they'd like to see and so forth. We had developed and adapted 2 high-impact transformation strategies. The 2 that we chose were storytelling. We really feel that that is what Holly is all about, from our depot and our historic buildings and so forth. That is a huge opportunity and will drive a lot of our work plans over the next number of years. The other one is community serving, and what community serving is taking a look beyond the businesses downtown or in the DDA district, and what are some of the things that we can do within our district that really do help with the community. And one perfect example is Ganshaw Park. You know, that's not benefiting any of the downtown businesses, but envision at some point that we would be able to actually see the waterfront and maybe have a dock out there where kids could fish and things like that. That's community serving. So there will be a number of initiatives that are answering to that transformation strategy. We updated our organizational bylaws. We're going to actually vote on those this evening, ensuring compliance and alignment with our long-term goal. Recruited and engaged over 15 new volunteers. That's always a struggle, getting volunteers, and it's something that Hillary is constantly trying to do, and maintaining that database of the active ones, not just ones that raised their hand and never came to help, but ones that come out whenever she calls them. We launched an intern program to partnership with Holly High School and Michigan Works, mentoring students in community development skills. We featured success stories of impactful projects on digital platforms and local media, organized community events and coordinated volunteer support, contributing hundreds of volunteer hours to local initiatives. And we're tasked with drafting new policies to streamline processes, so such as our purchasing policies or legal policies, those type of things. But they will help us improve efficiency and consistency across the organization. Thank you.
And then next is our promotions committee. And our promotions committee does just what its name says. It promotes any and all things, events, the goings on, and it's basically marketing to residents, workers, visitors, and I'll let Kari take over and talk about their accomplishments.
Coordinated the Ladies Night Out Fall Community Shopping and Dining event. Been going on for years, increasing local business exposure and boosting event foot traffic. Organized the seasonal Witches Night Out, which keeps getting bigger and bigger. Promoting it, encouraging themed costume participation and enhancing downtown activities. Managed the Ladies Night Out Spring event, featuring a Bridgerton-inspired theme. Improving its attractiveness with immersed decor, activities, and focused marketing efforts. Co-sponsored the Mischief and Magic Harry Potter event, attracting audiences across generations and promoting repeat visits to local shops. Oversaw the advertising budget for promotions, optimizing returns through print media, social platforms, and community collaborations, and sponsored the Dickens Festival, reinforcing community engagement and supporting local businesses during the holiday season.
So we've touched on our transformation strategies that we've adopted, and now we'll just talk a little bit more about them because these are gonna be parts of our work plans for the year and the direction that we're gonna be going. Storytelling is gonna be pretty fun actually, because we've got a lot of stories, you know, we've got our Carrie Nation, we've got, you know, Battle Alley, we've got the Depot, so we've got a lot of stories to tell, and we're gonna hopefully strengthen relationships within the community, increase foot traffic to local businesses, inspire hometown pride among residents, shape a shared and evolving community narrative. Ultimately, storytelling transforms space into place, turning the downtown into not just a destination, but a reflection of the community's soul. And then with community serving, this strategy focuses on fostering an environment that is entrepreneur-friendly and intentionally supports businesses that meet the everyday needs of both village residents and the broader regional population. The goal is to create a commercial district that functions as the hub of convenience, connection, and community well-being. Some ideas that we've had along the lines of that is maybe expanding business hours to accommodate maybe a younger crowd coming to shop. We're in the process of implementing a survey for our business owners to chime in on that, on what would look good for them as far as that goes. And then our projects that'll be tied in with that, we're gonna be implement the storytelling transformation strategy by enhancing visitor and resident engagement, preserving and promoting local heritage, boosting local economy and foot traffic, and fostering community pride and belonging throughout Midtown, downtown, and the North End. We're gonna apply the community serving transformation strategy by attracting and supporting resident-focused businesses, encouraging entrepreneurial growth, enhance public amenities, extend the district's relevance, and create a functional and equitable downtown. And then complete the long-anticipated relocation of the historic Depot building, transforming the site into a welcoming and functional community asset. Once moved, the surrounding area will be landscaped and enhanced with public amenities, including permanent restroom facilities and signage. The overall goal is to turn the Depot into a cornerstone of the downtown experience, both historically significant and practically useful. And then our goals are to strengthen the downtown identity, support small business stability and growth, activate public spaces, increase foot traffic and community engagement, enhance visual appeal and accessibility, strengthen community involvement and volunteer recruitment, especially volunteer recruitment, increase visibility and communication, unify the district downtown, midtown, and north end. So we do have some pretty cool upcoming events yet on our calendar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with our event card. I think the next one is, which is right?
Holidays,
Well,
which is not really a DDA,
Yeah.
but yes.
But we're
Yes.
Yeah.
involved.
holidays, which is night. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So if you're watching, or if you're out here in the audience and you're just a big fan of QR codes, you can scan the QR code to follow the Downtown Holly Facebook. And then that brings us to how you can get involved. A good way to get involved is what everybody here is doing tonight, attending a DDA meeting. you know, if you don't go to meetings, you don't know what's going on. You can join a committee or a volunteer group. We've got our 4 committees. We always need volunteers. Apply to be on the DDA board if it looks like something that you want to do or be a part of. We do leave, so we need to have people, you know, that, volunteer for events or projects. That's kind of obvious. Share your ideas and feedback. I would suggest if you're one of those that likes to share those ideas and feedback on social media, that at some point maybe you reach out to our board so that we, if we're not in tune on social media, we can stay in the loop. And then promote local businesses and events. And that is all I have, so thank you.
Very good,
Thank you.
very good. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from July 14th. You have those in your package. And hopefully you've had an opportunity to review those. If there aren't any revisions, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Motion to accept. Oh, motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the minutes are entered in as approved. You also have the very lengthy financial report in your packet. Just will open it up for any comments or questions with regards to the expenses that we incurred over the last month.
I will say that you didn't, I don't know if anyone is here to make public comments about the P57, but I think it was.
Oh, we overlooked it after the presentation, public comment.
Just in case.
Public
Oh,
comment.
I see, I'm sorry. Okay, it wasn't its own little, its own bullet point, I missed it. Are there any public comments with regards to the PA 57 presentation? Well, there's one for items on the agenda after the financial report, and then there should be one at the end for just general public comments. So this would be specific to what was presented under the PA 57 report.
And after that, you can close out the PA 57 session.
Okay.
Is basically what you do.
Got it. Yes, sir. State your name and address, please. Awesome, duly noted. Any other comments?
Anna Madsen, 15091 Western Valley. I just want to say thank you. Most of what you guys talked about, you guys all did as volunteers and small business owners, which we all know is a 24/7 job. So congratulations to you guys. You really did so much work over this last year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other public comments? Do we have to have a motion to close the session, or can I just do that? Okay, so I will formally close the PA 57 session and move back to the financial reports. Did anybody have any comments with regards to the financial reports for this month?
What's MDTS?
That is the company that is doing our downtown sound system.
Okay.
Yes. And that was their retainer, and we just processed the next payment that you'll see on the next month.
So that's initial.
That was initial, yes. And I'll give an update on that
Okay.
under, well, I'll do it later. Any other questions, comments? Okay. I will open up for public comments for items on the agenda. If there's anybody that wants to have public comment.
To be honest, we don't know what's on the agenda. So to be fair.
Are they not at the entrance on the table? I'm sorry, they're, sorry about that. They're usually sitting there along with a sign-in sheet. So I'll give you a moment to review that.
Please make sure to sign in, too.
Did you see anything that you'd like to comment on right now? Was that a yes or no, Kristen? No, I'm good. Okay, good, okay. All right. Hearing none and seeing none, we'll move into new business. Let's start with our legal counsel contract. Hillary, did you want to take that?
Sure. So the organization team was tasked with, seeking legal counsel. I received a couple of, recommendations from, that we had reached out to Oakland County Main Street. We did a generic, like, search online. So we had a total of five places, or 5 firms that I reached out to for information. 2 of them never got back with me. One of them is actually representing the township, and she felt like that was a conflict of interest. So the 2 that, so I had a total of 3 that got back with me. One was a conflict of interest, and then 2 are included, in the packet here. The thing that stands out to me, my personal recommendation is, for the Foster Swift, and I'm trying to, cause this other one, so they were both, really easy to talk to, very informational on the phone. The difference that stood out to me, that put Foster Swift above the other was, they've been doing this for 25 years, specifically working with municipalities, and this, Schiffman and Carlson, while they have been in business for like 15 years, it's been like about 3 years since they've worked with a municipality. So, and they're more expensive, their hourly rate. So I just thought that for more experience and current relevant municipality work, that Foster Swift, plus they have 15 municipality attorneys, and the gentleman that I spoke with, which was Michael Homier, he's actually the chair of the board that's over all of the municipal attorneys, and I was really impressed with the firm personally, over the other one.
Okay. Do we have a motion to enter into an agreement with Foster Swift, Collins and Smith at an hourly rate of $275?
Am I allowed to make the motion? Okay, I didn't think so.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, no, I didn't think so.
Is there a contract?
Yeah, is there a contract?
There's no retainer, correct?
No, there's no retainer, it's just hourly. So what he sent me is what was included, here in the packet.
Okay.
And it did say, I saw a breakdown of what,
I have a question.
Yes.
Would we have an assigned representative, or would it be just anyone in the firm?
I think it's 2 of them, right, according to their proposal?
I believe that that the lady in Southfield is gonna be our primary, and then he oversees, all of them.
It says it right here. Both Courtney and Mike will serve as the lead attorneys and supervise all legal matters.
There you go, perfect.
Do they offer 15-minute increments? They do. They do.
see the,
It's underneath, pricing, under time.
Oh, okay, they go down to 6-minute increments.
Yeah, I thought
just so
it was
everyone's
6
aware.
minute. I
Yep.
was like, I thought 6 was standing out.
Yeah, that's page 20 of their
Even better
proposal.
for those quick phone calls.
Right, and another thing that I liked, it didn't sound like they were gonna charge us for like their their clerical stuff.
Right.
So it's just the flat, hourly rate, yep.
You do have in there other expenses, so, you know, just depending, I mean, you might have some minor, costs that would be associated with secretarial work, but
Is this covered in the budget?
It would be covered under, if I'm not mistaken, under our contractual. Is that correct, Christina?
yeah,
We don't have a separate legal one.
you have a small amount in your legal
500.
budget, but then you also have your, contractual services budget. So
Right.
if you were to make any, you know, like maybe at mid-year when you're doing amendments to your budget, maybe kind of looking at, well, where are we trending? Do we need to shift dollars to that legal account just to be, you know, accurate and reflective of what the actual work has been?
And I honestly don't anticipate that we're going to have a ton of legal expenses, but it's always nice to have this and, you know, to be able to if we need it. So do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion, accept the Foster Swift organization.
Second?
Second.
Are there any other board comments? Can you do a roll call, Hillary?
Okay. Cuxy,
yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Wingemeyer's not here. Brandon,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Allgaiers, yes. Herrick,
Yes.
Rosca,
Yes.
Stauffer.
Yes. Motion carry. And you will reach out to them?
I told them, I didn't know if you needed to reach out, or, I told them that I would follow up with them with next steps.
Okay.
But that it might not be me, that, I didn't know what that looked like.
Okay.
So I told him, I gave him your name in the event that it's not me, but I have no problem with reaching out and,
I think that process needs to be established, but good job locating these guys, by the way. They have a great reputation.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited.
They are excited people.
I'm excited we have a
I'm
lawyer.
excited about it, no. But, yeah, I thought that I was really impressed with their history and their background and experience.
I think a later item on your agenda will probably handle that question
Yes,
as to
yes.
who should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Council policy, yep. Okay, next on new business is our mural and gateway arch project. Jerome, would you like to speak to that?
Yes. It was brought to our attention and brought up at the last board meeting that in the grant that was received in regards to the relocation of the depot, when the grant was written, there was also 2 segments in there to be included, which was a mural in Battle Alley that is to be depictive of Carrie Nation. And there's a dollar amount in that grant allotted for that. And the other item in the grant that was identified was the metal arches to go across Battle Alley on each end, historic Battle Alley arches. And there's a dollar amount provided in the grant for that as well. I'm currently getting those renderings and quotes together. I wanted to bring that up this evening. I don't know that I actually need approval since it's in the grant and it's already allocated for, but I wanted everyone to be aware of what was happening. There are some different renderings of the arch, and when I get it narrowed down to what we think it's going to be, I'd be happy to send it out to the board for your input. Currently, what we're looking at is a post on each side, obviously, and then in talking to our fire chief, I've made sure, although the company we're dealing with is professional, and they do these arches all over the place, and they already know about the height requirements and that type of thing for perhaps a fire rig or that type of thing. So all of those things have been taken into consideration. They, the arch itself will just simply say Historic Battle Alley, and I asked them to incorporate a couple holly leaves on each end to kind of make it our own identity. The model we're leaning towards actually is more of a solid rather than that stencil cutout part, just because if you look at a stencil cutout from the opposite end, it's backwards and inside out, and it's kind of hard to read. So this is a solid piece that we're hoping that can be, have the verbiage on both sides. So it'll be a two-sided sign on each end.
Point of clarification, the grant money, when we received it, was put into the depot fund, right?
That's right.
The expenses for this, will they be paid out of that depot fund then and not out of one of ours? We don't need to move money?
It'll be coming out of the depot fund.
Okay, just want to make sure.
And these two items that I'm speaking of are required to be done before the end of this year in order for us to get the rest of the grant funding. So it's a requirement. So I'm kind of working on a time frame here. So that's why I've been kind of fast forward with this, getting, as usual, getting people to return your calls and send you a quote. And so I've met with people, and I'm very confident with the sign company that we've reached. Christina was able to provide me the name, and then once I got talking to them, I realized it was the same people that did all the metal work up in Grand Blanc and that type of thing, so he's very familiar with the area. And they do stuff all around the country. So it's a very big company based out of Flint area.
And that one in Grand Blanc is pretty large, if
Oh, yeah.
if you've ever
Yeah, they're
seen it
beautiful.
on Saginaw. Yeah,
And
it's
they're
very nice.
guaranteed the sign itself, because I was concerned about keeping it clean and how long is this gonna hold up and what's it gonna look like. And he said that generally they last between 30 and 40 years. I said I won't need to worry about that. But it should look good till then.
Okay,
And then the mural is same thing. I've been reaching out. I'm happy to
The
say.
museum?
I'm sorry?
Did you say the mural again, or the museum?
mural.
Mural.
Oh, the mural, sorry.
The mural topic is, we've been trying to pursue a couple buildings in Battle Alley to put this mural on. And the one that it looks like it's most likely to be is the wall that's directly across from the circus mural that's currently in Alley Street. So it's the gray wall that's there. It's already a painted wall, so it doesn't have anything to do with the integrity of historic value and all that type of thing, which is important. And so I have been dealing with a muralist out of Ferndale. Her name is Tori, and she has created some rough drafts of this. And basically, after some research and some help from my friend Ms. Smith, who is sitting with us this evening, we got an actual photo of what the hotel looked like upon Carrie Nation's visit to town. And so that will be the backdrop of the mural, and then there's a figure of Carrie Nation in the front with a big axe holding it up and that type of thing. And then on the bottom it says Carrie Nation and the dates that she appeared in Holly, which was 1908, to smash whiskey bottles and basically ruin all of our great future of alcohol. And but anyway, so that is moving forward. And on the mural topic, I will also tell you that one of my concerns with some of the murals in town already is their disrepair, because they're kind of disintegrating. And I was able to get a hold of Kevin Burdick, who did most of them, and met with him. Kari helped me try to track him down, because I'd been trying to reach him for months. And then, ironically, he stopped in for a beer, and that always helps. And so Dave said, guess who I'm talking to? And so, anyways, I reached out to him. He was leaving today to go to Corpus Christi to do a mural. And so we met up last Friday morning before he left town. I said, I need to see you right now. So we walked around, he's getting me a price so that we can get those murals repaired and brought back to speed. The concern is they probably won't last any more than 4 or 5 years because of the nature of those particular bricks. His recommendation is moving forward with murals that we consider doing panels and having them mounted, which is also a concern because mounting on this mortar is also an issue. So just another thing, but been doing a lot of work on both of those topics and happy to say they're moving forward. And we, based on my conversations with both of those contractors, all 3 of them actually, we should have no problem completing the projects by the end of the year.
Awesome. Okay, moving on to the next item on new business is the one that we added.
Yes.
Which is also you.
Is also me. In the design committee meeting, I had the pleasure of having an individual come from the Historical Museum, Ms. Smith. And if you want to get up and share with us, you're welcome to. I appreciate you being here tonight. What she would like to do is ask us for some partnership, sponsorship dollars to repair the historical sign in Crapo Park that's in much needed help.
I'm Linda Smith, president of the Holly Historical Society, which owns the Hadley House Museum. Correct you, but not
Sorry.
the Holly Museum.
Okay.
For several years, I have been trying to bug the historic committee here in town to repair the historic Crapo sign. And they brushed me off, or did nothing. So I got a little more ambitious this time and discovered, probably opened a can of worms, but discovered that these signs supposedly are controlled by the State of Michigan Historic Commission. There's only one company in the whole United States that makes and repairs these, and it's in Ohio. And it's $1,500 to repair the sign, being the, with the words. And this is two-sided. This side is worse than the others. Then it's $475 for each new pole. And I threw in $500, which this is probably negotiable. We have to take it down and reinstall it when it comes back. And I didn't know whether the DPW would do that free for us, or whether we would have to hire somebody to do it. So if they do it free, we don't need that $500. So anyways, that comes to a total of around $3,000. The Historical Society is going to go up to $1,500. So I'm asking whether the DDA would like to finance the other $1,500.
So this is in line again with our transformational strategy of storytelling. And, you know, I think that from a DDA perspective, we would like to see what the future plans are for Crapo Park in totality with the depot. So it may have to move at some point anyway. And we have since learned that we have another one of these that's been sitting at DPW for a while for the depot. So,
That one has been there since 1980.
yeah.
For a
So-
little while.
Yeah, a little while.
My entire life.
Yeah. Oh, shut up.
That's rude.
So,
Linda, can I ask a question?
Yes.
How long has this current sign that needs repair been in place?
Since 1980.
That's been there since 1980?
That's
Okay.
what the girl Langston told me was when it was installed, was in
Okay.
1980. And I don't know who was involved with making it come about. She didn't say, I didn't ask her either. I wanted this to be a 250th anniversary project to have it in place. Well, it's taken this company about 9 months by the time you send it and get it back. So that means we gotta get it there this fall if we want it.
do we have any idea how much that weighs?
No, they suggested, when you go into, there's a, on their website, the whole thing about what you have to do to ship it. That 1,500 pays the shipping too. They suggest strapping it like to a pallet so that it doesn't move. And once we have that prepared, we notify them and they send a truck or whoever to come get it. And then they bring it back when it's done. So,
Okay. So your ask is for $1,500.
It could be less than that if we don't have to pay that 500 that I put in there per installation.
The other question I have is who's overseeing this? You? Are you overseeing it? I mean, how are you going to get this pelletized and shipped is my question. I don't see you being able to do that.
Until I have money, we don't know we're gonna do anything, I haven't gone that far.
Okay, because as we spoke in the design committee meeting, the company that she speaks of that does these repairs, is based in Ohio. So I questioned how much it's gonna actually cost to palletize and ship it, as opposed to possibly somebody just giving some
Put it in
gas
the back
money
of my
and driving it down
truck.
there.
And I will drive it down there.
Yeah.
So we would,
Details can be worked out if.
well,
we
that's
go
what I'm
one
telling you,
forward.
is that we would like to get some pricing differences. If that is an option, that we could just drive it down there, maybe that could also expedite the process.
Could be.
I have a feeling not.
No.
Could this
I have a
not be
feeling, as they come in, they do them,
for design?
and depending on, how much needs to be done to each.
Right, right. What was your question?
I just suggested that we throw this on the design committee's work plans for the storytelling adventure that we're embarking on.
Well, do we have,
Very kind of you.
If we repair it now and put it back in the same spot it's in, if you do something down there in Big Park, it could be moved.
Right.
correct,
That wouldn't be that
Correct.
big a deal, I don't think.
Does it make sense to is this on? No, it is. Does it make sense to contact them about the depot sign as well? Like, would they do a twofer?
What?
I don't think that needs to be repaired, it's never
never
been
been
out.
Installed.
I
Fair
think
enough.
it's still shrink wrapped,
It's still on a pallet in DPW,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. I was under.
brand new.
I thought it was, needed to be repaired.
We were gonna, contact Joe at Calypso too, to see what he would charge for taking it down and putting it up. Here again, until we know whether we're even gonna do anything, until he's, following through on that stuff.
Okay. Do we have a motion to help the Historic Society out by spending $1,500?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Can you do a roll call?
Can we spit it out?
Well, is there any board discussion, any further board discussion?
Just, which line would it come from?
It would come out of the design project line.
Design, and you guys
Yes.
have enough?
Oh, yes,
Then that's
Oh,
it?
yeah,
Yes.
they've got all the money.
yes. They have all the money,
Design go.
yes.
Okay, Coxie,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Meyer's not here, Brandon,
Yes.
Elliott,
Yes.
Allgaier, yes. Herrick,
Yes.
Raska,
Yes.
Stauffer.
Yes, so moved. So we will volunteer Jerome to help you with that process, and,
He's gonna be a point
but I will volunteer myself to drive it down if that's what it needs to be, a road trip, but we can do that.
Make sure that goes in the minutes.
I would just like to know, make public note on how easy it was for them to spend my money.
Absolutely.
No, it's,
Ohio, so if you look that up.
we're happy to help.
I know
actually.
right where that is.
Yeah.
I
It's
love
just
to go to
south of
Ohio.
Cleveland.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move into old business. Number one under the old business is our legal counsel policy. Who's heading that up? Hillary? Okay.
So, once again, the organization team was tasked with,
Because
We
you
were
do such a
tasked
great job.
we do, that we do, thank you. With the legal counsel policy, and actually, Linda came and met with us as well as Christina, so we kind of all collaborated and, came up with this amazing policy for you guys to vote on tonight. Or chime in on.
So that is after the proposals in your packet.
59.
Yep,
59, yeah.
page 59. I'll entertain a motion that we accept the legal counsel policy as provided. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the legal counsel policy as presented.
Second.
Any board discussion, questions? Hearing none?
Thank you for doing this. This was a
Yeah.
lot of work.
Oh, thank you.
And Hillary,
I had a lot of help.
I think the question you asked earlier was answered right under communications, so
Right.
yeah. Or the question Linda asked, I guess, yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The legal policy is adopted. Next on the agenda is our bylaws. We have been presented with the bylaws in the July meeting. So in our packet is the final recommendation based upon the feedback from that meeting. Items of change are noted, including a revised executive committee description and just a few other minor changes that the board requested.
And that section 8 was Tim's verbiage as well. We included that.
Okay. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to accept the bylaws as presented.
Motion to accept.
Do we have support? Okay, all those in favor?
Discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry, I always forget that.
No, that's okay. Mr. Cascella reached out to me concerned that, how did he worded it? He said that more things were changed. I think he cited the number 85, but I don't know if he was being facetious or not. He said 85 changes were made and only a couple things were highlighted. So that was his concern, and he pointed a couple out to me, but I managed to answer a couple. One of the changes is that previously, the DDA had been able to vote members out if they wanted to. And now it says, you know, only the governing body can. And I was like, well, that's weird that they would take that right away from themselves. But then it turned out that that's not in compliance with PA 57. So that makes sense. I'm just saying that so Mr. Cascella and whoever's watching can hear.
Okay.
I do have a question about, previously, wasn't the duties of office listed under Article 5 officers of the board? And if so, what was the reasoning for taking it out? Do we have a different document for DDA that might have been in? Am I mixing that up with something else?
When you say duties of office, what are you referring to?
Duties of officers, sorry, I meant to say officers. So
Officers.
for the chair, the vice chair,
Oh.
the secretary, was that listed before? And whether, I guess whether it was or not, do you think that it should be?
Well, I think it's under officers of the board. Wait,
That's Article 5 that she's referring
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, so it states the offices, but doesn't really say what their expectations are, just their term length and that kind of thing. So
I
if
don't
something
know
for,
that I've ever seen that. Was it in there?
I don't,
you don't think so? Okay, it's possible I'm mixing that up with something else, but regardless, do you think that it should be? So that's something for everyone to mull on.
That may have been something that was suggested
It
to
could
be
have
in
been.
there
It
and
could have been, yeah.
did
'cause
not
we
make
did have
it.
quite a few different
Yeah.
suggestions go through. Now, if we skip on over,
Can I ask a question on your question?
yeah,
If we were to put the, basically job description
sure.
in there, could that pose problems down the road? Can we not have our job description separate than our bylaws? Because otherwise, every time you want to change the responsibility of one of the roles, then you have to change your bylaws.
Maybe that's a good idea, to have it in a
And-
separate document.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Just like our
I like
purchase
that
policy.
The bylaws, in my mindset, need to be concise and clean and simple.
The overview rather than the details.
Correct.
Sure,
And
yeah,
then have the responsibilities in a separate document, the responsibilities of a board member and those specific titles that could be easily amended if you needed them to be.
I like that, because that could be part of the welcoming packets, which can be an included piece of the education for the new
Yes,
members.
and
we
I
don't
was,
know what projects will be in the future.
Right.
And maybe one of the
One might
responsible
require
roles
outreach
will have
when
different
otherwise it doesn't,
needs,
yeah.
you know.
Hillary,
Yeah.
can you look at your welcome packet and see if there was anything in there about job responsibilities? And if there isn't,
Yeah.
maybe then we need to include it.
This is like the first meeting I did not bring that thing.
Okay,
Now, if we skip forward a couple pages over to Article 10, Section 8. The executive director shall have the authority to spend DDA funds with the approved budget line items. In the event funds need to be reallocated to accommodate a new or different goal or objective, the director shall have the authority to do so up to $1,000 without prior consent. So I think we're talking about changing those budget lines, which I believe needs to be voted on by the board.
if we're moving money from one to another.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but budget amendments need to be approved by council as well. So I think it not only needs to be it's just that same process, because that's a voting issue. We don't want board members to lose their voting rights. And I think that this kind of contradicts that.
Did you have an opinion on that, Christina? I understand what you're saying.
It says within.
I mean, typically, you do budget amendments like maybe once or twice a year. And you can typically spend within your line items as long as you're not going over the total
Right.
budget that was approved by the council and by the board. And then making those budget adjustments that you need at those, like a mid-year amendment. Now, this specifically, I think this was language that was put in, I don't know if this was put in prior to my review, my first review of this. So this was something I was kind of responding to as well, where in terms of the amount, typically, I would put that into a policy as part of your purchasing policy. Because again, your policy can be amended more easily than your bylaws.
Right.
So I believe if I go back to like my comments, those original comments and stuff, I think that was my original comment. Put that into your purchasing policy, don't put it here. But I don't have that in front
So
of me to say
maybe
for
what
sure.
it needs to say is that the executive director should have the authority to spend funds within the approved budget line. And then once or twice a year, whatever we want to put in there, budgets will be reviewed and amendments made with the approval by the board and council. Does that handle it? And then we handle the
Yeah,
rest in
and
another
then-
policy?
Yeah, and I guess the rest is in the purchasing policy, which we'll be reviewing again in a minute.
Right.
So,
I
So-
think the only reason that we added that section was because, in the absence of having a DDA director, with a credit card, we've been struggling with getting our vendors paid at events and stuff, so, I just wanted the ability for somebody to pay them without it being a huge problem, is all, because our vendors are not getting.
But that should maybe be in our purchasing policy?
yeah.
And should we just remove section 8, or should we have something in there?
Maybe something, but not the whole thing.
Not the
Yeah.
details of it.
Yeah.
Maybe it refers to the purchase
think-
policy?
Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, that first line, and then,
But I think it's a good idea to put in the bylaws that we will review the budgets at least
Yeah.
once per year and amend as necessary with the approval of the board and council.
and you
think
can refer to the purchasing policy too, because then it leaves that continuity of knowledge in the document in case there's ever a whole turnover
Right.
all at once. We've gone through that with other boards before. They didn't even know about all the different documents that existed. But when the documents refer to one another, it's kind of a helpful thing.
Right.
Okay, I liked the change under 3.5, I called it 3.5, sorry. Under Article 11, I liked this change. I think there was a little change, because I think previously it said that the DDA chair was supposed to be on every subcommittee, which I thought was just an enormous demand of time. So now it's saying that the DDA chair gets to assign a chair to each subcommittee instead of being on each subcommittee. And I think that sounds just a lot more reasonable
Yes.
for Linda.
Thank you.
Yeah. Article 12, Section 1, contracts. The board may authorize. Okay, we have the executive director, the DDA chair, the DDA vice chair, to enter into contracts, et cetera. Such authorization may be general or confined to specific instances. And I think, again, that this is kind of going back to the same thing we talked about in Section 8, where this is the job of the appointed and elected officials to vote on, and we don't want to take those voting rights away. Now, this other piece I'm not sure about, because I was thinking it should be just the DDA director that enters into contracts with the DDA approval, or if they're already pre-authorized from our budget or whatever, as opposed to the chairperson or vice chair. Because this is a person that's hired by the board as opposed to someone that's appointed by the village president.
Right. However, in instances that we're in right now where we really don't have a
Don't have
full-time, like entering into a contract with the sound system people, that
Or the
like
law.
was me. So if, I guess I just want to make sure that if that weren't in there,
We have a contingency plan. So what about a contingency plan? Like, unless the DDA director is unavailable, then the chair and vice chair, or maybe executive committee can
Yeah.
assign the chair or the vice chair to
enter into that contract.
something in that arena, where its default is DDA director, but you've got that contingency in place for just in case we don't have a DDA director.
Okay. I'm okay with that. You got that, Hillary?
No.
It
says that on the other
It's okay.
list.
It's okay to say no.
So where do I just add the word contingent?
On section 1, the board may authorize the executive director, or in the absence of an executive director, a DDA chairperson or vice chairman, or you can just say executive committee, to enter into any contracts.
And that authorization, I think, should not say general. I think it should be specific. General is such a general, vague word that kind of gives a lot of power.
Well, I think it's meant to cover, for instance, okay, the board has adopted a budget. And any contractual agreements the board has agreed to within those budget line items, it would be expected that the executive director or the agent, if there is not an executive director, would be the one signing those contracts. And I think that's really more pertaining to who's signing these contracts on behalf of the board of directors, right? Although the board is entering into the contract as a whole, approving the contract as a whole to be able to spend those funds with that specific vendor.
Well, you've got the input to work that one out. My next one, the next page, so same article, Article 12. So if you guys get your own bank account, which would be great, and probably save you guys a lot of hassle having to go through the village, I think that you'll need an auditor, because now you won't be using our auditor.
Correct.
So I don't know if that maybe needs to be referred to here or not. I just wanted to toss that out there.
Well, I think in addition to an auditor, we would need a treasurer.
Yeah, good point, so auditor and treasurer, yeah, and maybe that can be put in, because then you've got your internal auditor too, basically, with that treasurer. So that could go under, just before section 3 there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was gonna say add a line about the attorney, but you guys already have that in a separate document, so never mind, that is it for my input. Great job once again. I know it's taking forever for us to get through this, but I think that's okay
It's
too.
important.
It
It
is.
is. So just to recap here, on, article on the contracts checks, I'm adding the verbiage.
Right before section 3.
Executive director, comma, or in the absence of the DDA chairperson or DDA vice chairperson entering contract. Is that where you wanted the,
What section are you back in?
on the,
12.
yeah.
Are you on
12,
section
yes.
1?
No, on the one that you just brought up about the contracts on
Yeah,
12.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
section
12, section 1.
Oh, section 1, yeah, we were saying in the absence
I'm
of an
sorry.
executive director. And then, you know,
May authorize the executive director or in the absence of a director.
yeah,
The executive committee to enter into any contract and execute, yep.
yeah, and like they can pick who gets to do the actual signature or
Signature.
something. No, you come up with your wording and present it next time.
Okay.
I think the board can also do that at any time of the like, either at that time when you know you're going to be without someone, that you're assigning someone to be that signer for the board,
So it's
or,
not
right?
Each time.
Or for each time you're entering a contract where a
Okay.
signer is needed.
But it's
So-
brought up in a meeting and it's approved by the board.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So we will hold off on approving this, and I know, it's okay. It's okay. It's important
This
to
is
get it
normal,
right.
just so you know.
Yes,
Bylaws take a long
bylaws
time.
take a long time.
On that second line, the executive director shall enter into contracts, at the end of that, it says that are, without further consideration by the DDA Board of Directors. I think that you should probably just add in accordance with the purchasing policy, because it just sounds like it can
That
just
was
enter into
back-
any contract without consideration.
What article are you
Section
on?
8, that was back in section 8
Section
of...
12,
Section 12. Oh,
Article
Article 12, sorry.
Section 1.
Section 1. At the end of that, just in accordance with the purchasing policy, I believe
Okay.
would be smart.
okay. Anything else on the bylaws?
No, this is an enormous document, and
Yes.
I just really appreciate all the work that Hillary's done for this, because it's huge. It's
It
a big
is.
responsibility.
Just one more question then, before we move on. On the one, under director, section 8,
Yes.
what is the
That one should also,
pleasure of the board for that to say?
that one should also refer to the purchase policy for the
Yeah,
details.
Yep, I have it just noted that you keep the first sentence, strike the remaining ones, but then put in all other expenditures shall follow the DDA purchasing policy.
Oh,
Yep.
and look at that second little paragraph. You can copy and paste that over to section
Oh,
1.
well, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. For the.
It's
in lieu
really
of-
just the second paragraph that
director
you're
is
gonna move
vacant.
up and refer to the purchase policy for details.
Yeah,
All right,
there we go.
Okay,
thanks, guys.
Hillary, this has been a lot of work. Who's on your committee serving with you?
Nancy and Anna Metzen, and then, Linda
Nancy who? I'm sorry.
Rebar.
Okay.
And then Linda, comes in sometimes when I need her help, and then Christina, while we have her, she's been,
Awesome.
you know, and April, I mean, I've got a lot of people, but, I'm really ready to wrap this up, so.
Don't even hand me any credit. I helped out one time for 1 hour. Like, that doesn't even, you've been working on this so long and so hard. And thank you, Ms. Mattson, and to Nancy as well, and whoever else you said. I know I missed a name.
Well, Linda helped.
Linda.
Oh, Linda.
but I'm like you, I fly in and,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, next on old business is our interim executive director services. So, was it a week ago, 2 weeks ago, Tim and I met with a former DDA director out of Berkeley. Oh, and Jerome was on the phone. Yes, he was.
There was, I have to say, so there was a motion and a second on the table, so,
Okay. Do we have to, do I need to
Oh.
retract that?
We need to, no action's gonna be taken on the bylaws. but we-
Right,
I can retract my motion.
we can,
And the second
table it till next,
Second.
yep,
Yeah.
postpone it till next month.
Okay, so,
So,
Okay. Back to the interim executive director services. Jerome and Tim and I met with Jennifer Benny, who is currently an interim director in Berkeley. She was the full-time director and then stepped back as she had a young child and is now getting back into it. And we were looking at her as a possibility for interim services until we decide the direction that we're going with a full-time. I think that, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, that we were all impressed with her and felt that she may be somebody that could actually step into the role full-time, but in the meantime, we can try her on for size and see how we like her and whether or not we think she'll be able to do the job. We did send over a scope of work to her. Her hourly rate is $45, and she would be committing to 20 hours per week, 2 days in the office per week, and then the rest of the time, remotely, and being able to start the beginning of September, but has committed to coming in the end of August to work with Christina, just kind of a handoff on all of what's on her plate and the computer and all of that. You have the scope of work in front of you. It's nothing really different than what we've been operating under. I committed to her that if we entered into this agreement, that Jerome and I would be meeting with her on a weekly basis to set priorities, because obviously there's a lot here. But we would be helping to direct that and what we need her to work on at any given point in time. So what I'm asking the board is that we enter into a contract with Jennifer at $45 an hour, 20 hours per week. I don't know that we have to have an end date for that. I think we can probably leave it open and on the agreement, just say that it can be terminated by either party within 30 days. I'm looking for that motion.
Is 20 hours enough?
no, yeah.
I
It's
feel
what
like we
we-
need someone to commit to more hours than that.
Well,
Is this in writing somewhere?
it's the last page in your packet, the scope of work. So no, I don't have the contract yet. This would just be the scope, but it would be the basis of a contract. It is currently what we have contracted with Christina, is that correct? 20 hours, or was it 15?
it was actually less than that, so,
Less than
yeah.
that. So it would be more than what we're getting right now, obviously with the ability to grow that. She is also, she has to figure out what her time commitment's gonna be with the Berkeley situation. They have a person that they are going to hire, but there may be just some overlap on that. But if we feel we need her more, I don't think there's anything stopping us from doing that.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you said, for the moment, you said 20 hours and how much an hour?
45.
45. So we're currently paying approximately $2.50 an hour if Christina's working 8 to 12 hours a week. $2.50 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about getting someone for $45 an hour. Mm-hmm. It's got a fantastic resume.
It's kind of a no-brainer, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, and when she looked at this, she said that it's nothing that she hasn't already been doing or has done. There's really, nothing limiting us to that 20-hour other than what she's able to do initially,
Do
that's
you
all.
feel it's appropriate to have the executive committee meet with her?
That's fine. I just wanted to try to enter into a contract before Christina left, so we can have that handshake. That's all, but
I just know one of the things Trina had mentioned that we have not had a DDA director or acting DDA director that has gone through and met with businesses.
Right.
North End, Midtown, downtown. And so I'm actually not even seeing any of that in the job description. And if she's giving 20 hours a week, and that's great, and I think financially it's up to our benefit, but I think that many business owners have voiced that concern in public comment. We've had board members voice that concern, and so I think we need someone on the ground doing that.
Absolutely.
That's been a priority, and people have mentioned it.
It is on the organizational support. It says to visit businesses as situations arise that can absolutely be changed. And again, we're gonna be the ones that are setting those priorities with her.
Well, the other thing, I mean, I just need to say,
Okay.
don't confuse the fact that this is an interim job with what you really want a DDA director to do. We're currently in limbo with a DDA
Right.
director.
What is
because
our plan? What is the plan?
We don't currently have one, but this is this resolution until we get the plan in place to have a full-time director, which will do the on the ground kind of thing. I don't think a 20-hour person can even have time to do that. They're just
Right,
not going to.
no, that's what I'm
I-
saying, 20 hours, I feel like this is probably a great candidate, and I think the financials work, but I feel like we need somebody more than 20 hours, is what I'm saying.
That, and like,
We all do, we want a director.
When can we discuss the plan for the director?
I'd like to discuss that soon. We need to figure out.
Right now, what we're trying to do is get an interim director in place.
Sure.
To be in place and be able to do some minor training at the end of Christina's term so that we don't have a void again.
Sure.
That's what we're trying to do. This is kind of a Band-Aid, if you will. In my opinion, that's the way I view it. What do you say, Tim?
Yeah, I would agree. Linda and I and Jerome spoke with her, and Linda mentioned earlier, she is actually interested in pursuing a full-time DDA position now that she's kind of reached a new stage in life, and she's expressed interest actually in this position. We'd still have to post the position and do all that. Linda and Jerome and I also sat down and we went over, because council had mentioned the possibility of wanting to do a dual role as maybe an assistant or something. I kind of expressed that I don't really believe that would be, as an assistant role would be appropriate for me, because I would rather have them have a narrower scope of work. I'd rather them focus on economic development, focus on the DDA. So Linda and Jerome and I sat down and we kind of looked at what would this job description look like if we had a DDA director / economic development director that worked with the village. And so we talked about, we actually kind of wrote down this is what we would think it would look like. And we also talked about what would the goals be, like as from our opinion, what would the first year look like, 2 years, because my thought would be, I want them to take what the DDA board, one of the benefits of this interim period is that we grew a very strong DDA board. Most DDA boards aren't this strong and involved in things. It's usually a director that's carrying them along the whole way. And so to take that DDA board that we have that's strong and kind of develop that and pull some of those responsibilities off. And then later on, all right, now how are we instituting that, the economic policies and procedures that we need throughout the village that aren't just limited to the DDA districts. And so I think we've got a pretty good, Linda sent me some of her notes and I agreed with almost all of them. And so I'm ready whenever you guys are to start pitching that out and talking about next steps. But like I said, and this person seemed like a very good candidate. We asked we were really just meeting with her to see about the interim position. She mentioned it, that she was interested in more full-time, and we did ask some more, I think, strategic questions of her, like, hey, what does a healthy relationship look like between a village and a DDA? What would you do for a long-term, economic strategy? And she was able to just, she has a lot of background, a lot of knowledge. Again, I think she might be a good candidate, but again, we have to go through all those procedures and
Right.
steps.
And that could take us 6 months by the time we were able to do all of that. And so we just wanted to make sure that right now, we don't have another gap. That's
So
basically.
is it that she can only do 20 hours? Is that why we put 20 hours?
I
Can
think
we take it to
initially,
30 hours?
I think initially it was 20 hours, but I can go back to her
We can
and
ask
see,
her for more
and we
hours.
can ask her for more hours.
Can we,
I think we should revise this scope of work. I don't think that we should be paying $45 an hour for somebody to update and print a brochure.
Well, that's part of their
Our committees can
job,
be doing that.
but they can't.
I'd like
This
to
is
make
the
a-
scope of work.
What do you think about sending this to the executive committee to redraft this, and then we have a special meeting, and we get on the ball and get this lady hired? But if we can get you guys, the executive committee, on the same page about what this contract needs to look like, what her responsibilities need to be, how many hours she needs to work, like Holly was addressing.
And Linda, I'd probably ask her if she's
Get her
interested in
input.
doing like an actual interim full-time position. Like if she wanted to do it full-time and maybe rather like do some kind of, I don't know how you would adjust the.
Or when she would be able to add more hours, to
Yep.
ask her that.
Because I know the new DDA director starts on the August 16th, I believe, for Berkeley. I think that's what she told me.
Okay.
And it sounds like she'll be a qualified contender for the position
I
that,
think she would be,
that you're
yes.
kind of pounding out with Tim, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't want to lose her. If she wants more than 20 hours, we don't want to lose her to full-time somewhere else. We want to hang on
Correct.
to her.
Correct. I will,
But if she can only do 20 for now, that sounds like we might be okay with that too.
Does she write grants?
Yes.
yes. Yes. Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
So, April, you're asking for this to be rewritten?
Have your executive committee, revise what you think the responsibility should be, the amount of hours, and get her input, of course, to see if that all works, and then we can have a special meeting for the DDA.
I don't know if we have time to do all that and get her in here in time to work with Christina. That's my concern. That's it, and this is basically the same scope of work that we've been working on. So, my hope was that we would adopt this tonight, and that way we can just move forward. She's guaranteed, we lock her in, we can always adjust it. And we can always say, how about this? And then move her into more hours with more responsibility.
Hillary, if you were to make amendments right now, what would you ask for?
I mean, I think that the committees should be doing administrative clerical tasks, not paying $45 an hour for it, personally. That's,
What do you mean by that? Because I have concerns with that. I don't know of any committee chair that's willing to go in and make a brochure. I'm not doing that. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm a
Right.
volunteer. I mean,
Instead of
Kari,
ta-
are you making one? I mean, that's not.
Pay someone.
Yeah, exactly. So, I
What,
mean,
is there anything you would add to it as opposed to taking away? Did you say
well,
something about the
I would like
businesses?
more support for our business owners.
Oh,
I
is it?
mean, they've been without any support whatsoever. I mean, I've got Oakland Thrive coming in to help them.
At the same time, and just as a note, someone who's gonna be temporary, that's not gonna be around, having them meet with businesses is not always conducive to building relationships either, because they're not gonna be around. But now, and I'm not saying that she's not going to be around, I'm saying, but if it is just an interim, and like I said, I would see, like, I think that we could work on this and change this, and I do think that we should get somebody in, like, if we could approve this, like Jerome said, and then maybe have, as part of it, have the executive committee meet with her, and maybe have other people chime in, and we can, if we can get some of these things done by other people, then absolutely, but maybe, and then ask her too about more hours, and hopefully the city council would like her and want us to keep her, and that would be our future permanent person. But I do agree that we're already in the middle of August, in our next meeting, to meet and have to like find somebody else or do all this. I would hate to lose somebody.
Well, and I'll point out, it does say the very last sentence, other special projects as needed or requested by the board.
we put that in there specifically.
Yes.
So, does that tend to your concerns, Hillary, for now, since this is an interim position?
Sure.
Yeah, I think from a practical standpoint, we really need to look at this as transitional right now. And it's critical, I think, that we do it. I think maintaining the continuity and any momentum we've got is absolutely critical. And I love the idea of this being a test drive too. And, again, we can see if the shoe fits and see where this takes us. If that means more hours, additional responsibilities, perhaps the permanent, but, you know, we can just see how this evolves over time, but critical, I think, that we get somebody in there.
I did send her a quick email, and hopefully she'll respond this evening about whether or not she could work more than 20 hours, and if not initially, when she would be able to.
How did the 20 hours become 20 hours?
It was just a ballpark.
Okay. Was the wage written anywhere, the 45 an hour?
No, because that was still, she had given us a range of 45 to 50, and so this morning I said, can we just agree on 45 so I can bring this to the board? And she did respond, yes.
If a motion is made, I would recommend that they don't say the amount of hours, that they say something about, you guys get to hash that out, but I would say that the motion should include the amount is not to exceed $45 an hour.
Okay. And then I can have her come and meet with us at any point in time before that, because you're part of the executive committee, right?
No.
No. Hillary is now. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then for days, is it set days a week that she'll be in office, or is it flex?
I believe she told us, did she give us
Did we
set
discuss
days?
I
or
don't think we just discussed
think
it.
we
No.
We talked about the hours that the building is open that we normally work, but we didn't set specific days.
No.
But she didn't sound like there was a concern with any hours either.
No.
It was basically like, I'm here for whatever you need. It's kind
Yeah.
of
So she was prepared to do weekends and events and that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yep.
It's actually partially why we didn't get an immediate response back from her, because they had a big event in
She was
Berkeley
doing
this
an
past
event?
weekend.
Yeah.
And she said, I can't deal with this until Monday.
That's a
Right.
good sign.
Yeah.
That's a green flag. Yeah.
Yep.
So can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept this proposal for this interim executive director for 20 hours a week with the rate not being more than $45 an hour.
Can you amend that? Because we weren't gonna put the hours in there.
Oh, sorry.
Hours to be
And her
determined.
name is Jennifer Femi.
I'll make a motion to accept this proposal for this interim executive director. No, I forgot.
$45 an hour. Not to exceed.
Oh, not to exceed $45 an hour.
I'll second that.
Okay. Can we have a roll call, Hillary? Any board discussion, any more? I remembered.
You did.
Elliot,
Okay.
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Greenway,
Yes.
Coxey,
Yes.
Raska,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Allgaier, I'm gonna say no. Stauffer,
Yes. Okay. We will move forward with Jennifer in an interim, and Hillary, I will try to get her in here in the next week to meet with the executive committee, and then we'll schedule time with her to meet with Christina on the last week of August. Okay, the last item under an old business is the purchasing policy. April, did you want to?
So you guys didn't have too many recommendations for edits last time I made them. It was mostly just in that little box, and it turned out that they had already been kind of referred to in item 7, so I just, added C7. And I also wrote 3 competitive bids on both, because I think it only said 3 on one, and it didn't state how many on the other one. And I think there was one other minor edit in number, we talked about an edit in number 5. We were going to change the language of newspaper, but we couldn't because of how, is it the ordinances or charters are set that you have to post and add in a newspaper? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It says published in at least one newspaper of general circulation in the village. I
Let me
don't know
look
what
in,
newspaper that would be.
I don't either.
Tri-County Times.
Yeah, we've got Tri-County.
Do they have an ad section? Like a public notice section?
I think they do.
They do.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
And that's just a public notice thing. So I couldn't change that one. And I think that was it for edits,
Yeah, that's straight out of the charter,
the charter.
The charter.
Okay.
381.
So we should probably see to editing the charter, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yes. Are there any questions or concerns with the purchasing policy? If not, I'll entertain a motion that we accept the purchasing policy, and thank you, April, for all your work on this. Appreciate that.
Can I just make one comment? Responds to, I think, number 4, I don't know if it is anywhere else, but a purchase order. The village does not actually do purchase orders, so I think that there just needs to be some other wording other than that.
How do you guys handle that in the village?
Oh, yeah, so this, what I'm reading is on inviting bids, like as far as newspaper, so I thought that's
No,
where-
number 4.
But number
so
4,
sorry.
purchase orders shall be used every time a
Yeah, 'cause
purchase.
I did inquire with Lisa Bone regarding that, and to verify there wasn't a purchase order system in place, and there's not, so I'm not sure.
So I
Wording.
did take that language from the villages, but let's see, what might be a more appropriate
Guess you're getting
terminology
a
then?
purchase order system in place.
Pardon? An invoice shall be used. So I can take out the word purchase order and put invoice, so,
Well, purchase order is also in the charter, too.
oh, it is in
Yeah.
the charter.
Yep.
Never mind, I can't take that out.
But we're
Purchase-
just not doing it. Okay, I got it. Hello, Holly.
I think that when, in instances like these, when certain things can't be done, it shows the need to change the charter. Rather than causing trouble for us here for not doing it, it'll cause them to be incentivized to change the charter,
Okay, we'll wait until they change the charter.
to change the wording, yeah.
Yes. Do we have a motion to accept the purchasing policy?
I'll make a motion to accept the purchasing policy as presented.
Support? All those in favor?
I have a
Aye.
question.
Yeah,
Did we do questions?
You know, I should have a little note right
Has
here.
this been legally reviewed?
Yes, this was legally reviewed before that last edit, and being that the edit was only to those, adding in the word 3 and plugging in C7, I don't see a need to legally review it again, but if you did, I'd say, go with Foster Swift, check out, them instead of Gildner, but I think due diligence has been done here.
Okay.
I agree. Any other board comments, questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have a purchasing policy. Okay.
Linda, I can send you the PDF so you guys can put it
Put
where
it
you
on-
need to keep it.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. We're going to move into reports at this point in time. Design,
Oh my gosh, do I need to talk again? We had our meeting, we talked about the mural, we talked about the arches going in the alley, which is great and exciting. The other thing that I'm excited about is Carrie Brown from Holly Schools, who's the art instructor there, was present, and she is taking the lead on some art installations that we're hoping to develop a plan and then present to Parks and Rec for hopefully their approval on how we can get community art in some of the local parks. Possibly a rotating thing where it would move from park to park so that people not only experience different art on different maybe quarters of the year, but they'd also be able to experience different parks. And so it was an idea to create more community engagement and give people the opportunity to enjoy the parks at the same time. So I'm excited about that. And then the Adopt a Garden program that I always talk about is still going, and if somebody's out there, it's not too late to adopt a garden. There's some available on our website, and we are looking at now fall plantings, so making some fall installations coming up, and we're in the process of possibly getting a group purchasing power for purchasing daffodil bulbs, so that anyone that's adopted a garden, plus we were gonna make it available to the entire village, anybody in the community that wants to buy bulk daffodil bulbs, that maybe we could just not only beautify our adopted gardens, but people can beautify their yards, and we can really have beautiful springy looking daffodils all over. Daffodils was our choice because they're deer resistant, and we do have creatures in the neighborhood. So that's pretty much what got done. We're excited, and we're moving forward with holiday decor as well.
Awesome. Economic vitality, Dave.
Yes, we had a meeting. I already kind of covered a lot of the things in the PA 57 section relative to what we've been discussing, but again, just really excited about the progress that's being made on the business database, as well as really excited with this new tool about how to effectively start a business in Holly. One thing I will mention again is we prioritize these vacant properties out there. We've really struggled and been frustrated trying to gain any information about the vacant Rite Aid building. Anna was kind enough during our meeting to use some of her internet sleuthing skills and to try to find a number and a name. Unfortunately, you did come up with something, but I tried repeatedly and have not received any response, just kind of a dead-end voicemail. So we're going to keep swinging away at that, though, and try to get some information, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, promotions, Kari.
Promotions met on July 28th. We talked about a lot, all of the upcoming events, of course. There's a new business coming in to Battle Alley, and she has a pretty strong social media presence. So we were talking with her about possibly doing some Instagram reels and a TikTok with her. So we're gonna meet with her soon. That was right before I went out of town. But excited about that. That'll be a fun endeavor for us to check out. The other thing that we talked about in terms of advertising and telling our story is creating some new banner ads for Oakland County Times. Recircling back to the day trip to Holly and just getting that out there. We talked about a lot, all kinds of details about upcoming events, and the next meeting is August 18th at 5:30.
And Oakland Thrive will be there too.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Organization.
The organization team met, I think it was the third Monday, and we went over the legal policy, obviously the attorney discussion. We started discussing our work plans for going forward with the storytelling and community serving. We're gearing up for vendors for Witches Night and Ladies Night, so if anybody wants to be a vendor, you can reach out to me. And then holidays, the parks event had reached out to me about helping out with volunteers. So I'm actually going to be out of town, so I'm going to put out a flyer for them to reach directly out to the parks, because I understand we're just doing the stage this year, correct? The DDA for holidays?
I've been sitting on the Holidays Committee as a board member of the DDA, and our involvement is going to be the stage, which we procured and is being delivered, so we paid for the stage for that. And then I thought, as an opportunity for the merchants to be involved, we would do this treasure hunt, if you would, where our intern was very helpful in getting some information. And since it's holidays and it's about our community and our history, we gathered history facts about our different buildings that our businesses are in, and we're going to have a little walking game, if you will. It's not been totally set up, but it will be where they're going to match the building with the trivia comment that this building used to be a whatever kind of thing, so that people learn more. And even our intern commented when she was done, she said, "This was one of the most fun projects. I had
cool.
no idea some of the things that these buildings used to be in the past. It was very fun to do," she said. So I thought that was really cool. And I'm hoping that the guests that come to town that weekend will have the same feeling.
And where will they pick those up?
We're going to have those distributed at the coffee shop, that if I talk to the owner, she'll probably let me.
Probably.
And then Alter Design, Holly Antiques.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else, Hillary? No. Okay. Tim?
Well, so I appreciate, Lynn and Jerome, just all you've done in the last, couple of weeks. As, I know it's been a contentious time, but, just diligently working with me and hey, how are we gonna move forward all together? And just been on it, just been really helpful in everything. So on our agenda tomorrow for council, we have a few special events, the fun run in association with the holidays. We have the high school homecoming parade October 10th, Witches Night Out is going for approval. We have a couple business registration for Impact Fitness and More Than Subs. When we had I think the Impact Fitness ribbon cutting is
Next
week.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. And earlier this week, we had the tanning salon, or last week, we had the tanning salon ribbon cutting. We have a citizen recognition for events tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow at the meeting, and but I'd encourage anyone to come out and support him. I will be giving a brief cityhood presentation to council. So I would encourage anyone that's interested in that, wants to talk about it, they can come tomorrow, but we're also doing a town hall on Wednesday at 6 p.m. If anyone wants to come and ask more directed questions at that time, they're welcome to. We have a new planning commission coming in. We have a new ZBA person. Hillary is going to be joining our ZBA.
Because she doesn't have enough to do.
All of my tentative bargaining agreements, 3 of them. We have lots of other stuff. We have the petition for the Stiffs Mill Pond is going to be on the agenda. We have several DPW items. And all morning I'm also being in court with Eagle on the mill pond. So it's been a very chaotic time getting all of this ready to go. But I just appreciate it. The how to open a business, it's on the website. I've just printed out copies. I'll bring them in. I pushed it out to the leadership on the DDA, and so it's available for anyone to use. If you see any, it's like a working document, so if anyone sees any revisions that they think we should do, we're glad to make them. The depot sign, it's a known issue. The depot historical sign, I know it's there. The depot committee knows it's there. In the renderings that I've seen, or when we've talked about it, we know where it's going to go up. So it's not like it's an unknown quantity. We know it's going to happen. Just we need to move it. And other than that, appreciate everything everyone's doing.
Is the council packet out on the website right now?
It's on the website.
Okay.
I'll grab those how to run business things too.
Okay. Christina?
It's on? Okay. A couple items. The business e-newsletter went out on Friday.
I love those.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And in there, I just wanted to note publicly, there is a grant that is now open for businesses to apply to but it would be through the DDA to get to Main Street Oakland County and the Main Street Oakland County Spirit of Main Street Grant. It's a micro business startup grant program for businesses either from the 0 to 1 year or under 5 years. So, and it's up to $5,000, but it's a 50-50 match. So it would be a spend of up to $10,000 or less, and then you would get that 50% match. The application needs to be done through the DDA or with the DDA submitting to it because they want to have good, strong applications and making sure that it's hitting upon the grant points and criteria that is out there. So if you do have questions about that, feel free to give me a shout regarding that. But those are due, I think it's September 1.
September 1.
September 1, yes. So pretty quick turnaround for those who are looking to get some financial assistance there. Also, we did have a Main Street Oakland County directors meeting on Friday, on Friday. And they also passed out tips for small businesses in terms of grant writing. which I will send that out to you all and then also post it on our webpage, because I think it's just important to put some of those resources out there and make sure that they're up on the website. The PA 57 website PA 57 presentation will also be posted on the website too. Jerome, I'm sorry.
I just want to know if you're posting that on the website, can you also put that in the next newsletter so that business owners know it's there?
Yes.
Please.
Should be able to. Or at least I'll get it prepped.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes. And then, let's see, what else did I have here? There's like a number of things that are coming up for businesses, so I just want to make sure everyone knows. Oakland County is also doing a Using AI Tools in Small Businesses workshop. That is September 30th, and there is also registration for that. It is a Zoom link, so you can do it via Zoom, which is good. You don't have to physically be there for it, so I'll send that information out, and that literally just came out. And last but not least, for grants and awards, Michigan Downtown Association, their annual meeting is coming up in November, but prior to that, they are accepting award nominations for a couple different awards for organizations with Best Downtown Project, Organization of the Year, and Director of the Year. So if you are interested in making an application for any of those, let me know. Also, as part of their program this year, there is a Destination Business Grant Program. I don't have all the details of what that entails, but it would be for an organization to receive some consulting services, some limited consulting services. So I'm going to kind of look into the details on that for you guys and make sure you have that information. Let's see if there, last but not least, one of the things I was working on is the RFP for the activation of the depot and Crapo Park surrounding that. So that RFP will be finished up and sent out to some various vendors who can provide those types of services. And we'll probably put a deadline date of like probably somewhere between mid-September, end of September, just because we want to make sure we have good proposals that they have enough time to pull those together. So, important for your next interim executive director to be able to go through, review those and assign a committee to, probably the design committee to really review those proposals once they're received and make a recommendation to the board.
And then
if you
the
wanna proceed.
intent is to use that for grant, right?
It is,
Okay,
because
grant.
you want a consultant that can put together basically a concept design as well as activation plan and concept budget. And then that can be used for future grants that you would want to pursue.
And I also want to clarify, the whole intention of this is to get, since we had a grant available for these purposes, to get a plan in place, then the next step will be to take that plan to Parks and Rec and say, this is what we're thinking of doing, and we can go ahead and secure funding for this, and what's your input on this, to get Parks and Rec's buy-in on this, because it sounds like we have the financial wherewithal to make this project happen, where they sometimes don't have that ability. And so by doing a partnership with the Parks and Rec Committee, the design committee can go to them and say, this is what we were thinking, and what's your input? So maybe a little bit more permanent structure for what we now call the farmer's market and things like that, and kind of create that as a real centerpiece of the community.
Right.
Again, community activation.
Yeah. And, we did do a board training earlier. Those documents, I'll send the digital documents out to everyone so that you do have them as well. And I know that Oakland County will probably be doing another training session too, probably sometime later this fall. So you could probably look for that down the road for those who were not able to join today. And last but not least, I just want to say that, it has been a pleasure working with you guys. You are such a strong, committed group, and you're going to have many successes before you, and just wish you the best of luck because, you know, you got a lot of work ahead, but it's good work.
Well, and we appreciate you helping us navigate through this without a full-time director, so I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to just touch on a few things. The sound system, so we entered into a contract with MDTS, I think it is. And the beauty of what they are doing is they're going to allow us to utilize a lot of the equipment we already have to keep those costs down. A couple other proposals that we had received were upwards of $40,000, $50,000 and up. And we're going to be able to come in under that $10,000 that was allotted to us for our tech grant. So, and they know that they have to complete the work by the end of August, and they are on track to do that. So hopefully we'll have sound downtown here shortly, yes. Just a couple things on businesses. You probably have all seen in social media that Funky Fungi is going to be closing. I think she is trying to sell the business, but I don't think she will be open after the end of the month. Ignite Nutrition, I did see that they also just announced that they're closing. And I think it was the end of the month on that one, but I'm not positive. And then there is one business that just popped up that I was not even aware of, and they are going into the old Maruka's kitchen, and it's More Than Subs, I think is the name of it. And I think they have, some sort of relationship with Big Papa's. I'm not 100% sure. So those are just some business notes. At this point in time, I'll open up for public comments on any items that were not on the agenda. Okay, Anna?
Anna Matson, 15091 Western Valley. I'm gonna try to go fast because it's been a long meeting. Jerome didn't talk about my banners that I'm working on. I'm really proud. I was hoping John Lowe was gonna be here to tell him that we're not gonna have tacky
No more
banners. We really want to brand the DDA, mainly just go off like the Main Street name, just to make it more relatable for people. I think having banners that are very similar throughout the year, where it's like the same branding. So one of the banners I made, it has like the light post, which is in our logo. So just kind of having consistent branding, I think will be really awesome. So if you like them, I did it. I'll blame Jerome if you guys don't like it, but.
Perfect.
I would like to see, and this will probably come with a DDA director, but I would like to see some more hard set infrastructure improvements. You know, going to other DDA districts, I feel like the big thing that they have that we don't is just a lot more trees, a lot more flowers, and that's really what spruces it up, fountains, just more tables, more sitting, stuff like that. And I mean, I was even thinking like the Holly logo that's in between like the coffee shop and, you know, your space, that always gets like washed away every time it's redone. Like, can we look at maybe like concrete stamping or something, like something more permanent? Or can we even look at repaving the whole downtown? Like, is that something that we might want to take on? Just something to spruce up the space. It is looking a little tacky, I gotta say. Just to make things easier, because I can tell Ms. Algar was a little overwhelmed with the bylaws. If anyone has any suggestions on any other changes with the bylaws, I'm sure she'll welcome you to concern that you guys brought up with the interim director, like the $45, can only work 20 hours a week, not gonna be able to go to the businesses. Our previous pick could have done all of that, worked 40 hours, and I don't know if she's still available, but I'm sure she still could, for cheaper than that. Like, we already had all that, and that was the only negative that the village council brought up. So is that, since assistant is off the table, is that something we can bring back up, since that was the only negative? So, that's all I gotta say. Thank you again for your work, and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Kristen? Can you state your name and address?
Kristen Maxwell, 104 Battle Alley. I assume the business address.
That's fine.
So I just want to reiterate, when we talk about this interim executive director and the 20-hour limit, looking at more hours, I think we really need to assess what those hours should be and how they should be allotted when we talk about partnering up with the village. Because as one of the businesses that feels the lack of that support, I think that we need to really consider how many hours need to be office hours versus on the street interacting with us, getting to know us, so they actually support our needs. That's it. I just hope you guys really look at that when you consider this person going forward.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, it is 8:01.
Board comments?
She's got one set up
I'm
for tonight. It's okay, she's messing with you, totally messing.
Board comments?
It's been 2 hours.
Dave,
No comments.
Hillary,
No comment.
Jerome.
I do.
Okay.
I have a question, and it actually was brought to my attention tonight. It appears that some new policies and procedures have been put into place for new businesses to open up.
Oh, yeah.
Per Jeremy
I heard that too.
Watson. And I'm not opposed to new policies and procedures. My question is, if we're going to have a relationship going forward that we're going to work oaring boats in the same direction, it would be nice if the DDA was informed of these upcoming changes or suggestions or whatever. And I didn't know anything about it, and I'm just kind of curious what that is.
Is that
I'm
reflected
curious
in
to
here?
see what you're referring to.
Is it just this?
Can I just have her speak on that?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, go
Could you
ahead.
state your name and address?
Yep, Rick Loudmead, 102 Battle Alley. I'm getting ready to move over to the corner shop on Saginaw. Jeremy contacted my husband, we'll put a not approved, and so we had to contact him, and he just wanted to know what's going on because we covered the windows. We covered the windows because we're renting a paint sprayer to spray the ceiling and stuff. I just don't want it all over the windows to clean up. But in that process, when my husband called me back, he goes, just to let you know, there's new policies and procedures, and you're gonna be the first store that have to abide by that, and then we have to turn in blueprints of all of our shelving and what kind of shelving, and be approved before we can install it, and then get our, before they come and inspect the occupancy, is what he told my husband.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're referencing. I'm not sure if it's something that's already existed and that we
He said
haven't.
that we would be the very first business that
Okay,
would
I'll have
take
to
it
find
back.
out more about it. And I don't know if it's a new state requirement or,
Like I
or
said,
what.
it's my,
Yep,
it was my
I
husband
understand.
that spoke to him, not me personally. But I would like some clarification. I mean, I'm already an existing business, and I'm just moving shelving over to the other. So if they, I don't understand, is that just a money grab, to be honest? That's my first initial thought. Is it the village trying to collect extra money? If it is, just add more money to the occupancy check. That's only $50 or whatever. Because I just want to move my stuff over, and I'm on a very tight timeline, and there's no, once again, because I've done this 3 months ago, there's no guidelines for any of us. And it's, oh, by the way. So, I don't, as a business owner, I don't appreciate all this. Like, we have to have guidelines and stuff handed to us so that we know what to expect. I want to follow the rules, right? But like, no one's telling us, once again, DDA director.
So are those reflected in this
So
document,
I don't
do you
even know
think?
I don't know what we're referencing, so if.
But Jeremy had a hand in
Oh,
this,
yeah,
right?
so, Jeremy and I worked on, so Dave initially brought it to Jeremy, And so Jeremy and I kind of took the template and we made it based on, but there's no new requirements. There's no new, I mean, our expectation is that we followed the rules and procedures that have already been in place. And I think in the past, they perhaps were not followed and they're not enforced. And then we have because all of the boards and commissions, the planning commission, HCC, everyone's been saying, hey, why are we doing code enforcement? Why aren't we following our rules and procedures? The DDA, everyone has asked that. And so now we're starting to do that. I don't know specifically, I can talk to Jeremy. I don't know anything specific about shelving, but I can find out more details.
Yeah, and, thank you. I was, just to clarify, I wasn't bringing this up to be controversial. I was bringing it up simply because I'm a proponent of rules and regulations and all that type of thing, but I think as we're doing it, it would have been nice if we would have been aware of it so that we can work, because we're kind of the front line when we're talking to other businesses and things like that, and we shouldn't have that, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, look on our face. So, that's all I'm asking. So, some clarification moving forward, and if policies and procedures are being enacted, we should be informed of them.
Yeah,
That's all.
okay. Holly?
None.
Kari?
Nope.
Trina?
I had just one question, and I'm gonna be quick. If
It's
you'll
okay.
afford me, I swear I've gotten the business, and I meant to say this actually when you were talking about it, the business newsletter. I thought I got one before, but I didn't, I just checked into my junk mail, and I had not gotten one, this most recent one.
Okay.
Is this through the MailChimp that
It
you're
is.
using?
It
So
is.
once my email is on there, it should always be on there, correct?
It should be. You've
Right.
received the previous ones?
I think so, but maybe I didn't, but I thought I had.
Okay, I can double check that both of your emails are in there.
Right, but so, but out of curiosity, since we have two other business owners here, like, how do you put those on there? Did they get the business newsletter?
I have not checked, but I got it this time, but I haven't, it's been very sporadic as to what actually has come through.
It's only been a couple of months. right?
Yeah.
It's only
Yeah.
been 3 months.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
Yeah. And so as new businesses come on, we are adding them in, but we need to be notified of what the new businesses are and their contact information is. So it is based off, at this point, everything that's in the system is based off of that spreadsheet that we've
Or-
gone through and updated. So if they're not on that
if you have to
spreadsheet,
register.
more than likely, then they're not then in the MailChimp. There's a couple touch points where you've got to update the spreadsheet, you need to update the website, you need to update MailChimp. It's not all connected, so it's making sure that when we do, first and foremost, we need the information first.
Well, I would think that that would be under step 3 of this, how to open a new business, which is business registration. We ought to get a copy of that, right?
Yes,
Because I'm sure that that has all the contact information on it.
yeah.
So we'll work behind the scenes
Yeah.
to make sure that that happens in the future.
Yeah, because I think that would help you also with your reporting to
Yes.
Main Street, Oakland County.
Yes.
So, we have not received that information in the past, at least in the last few months that I've been here. Maybe it was done prior to that, I'm not sure, but we have not received that, since I've been here.
Okay.
I just talked to Jeremy, too. I texted him. And so he said there was no new requirements. It was just the new flow chart. So the requirements are the same standards. It's just, I believe he was just stating that there's a new way that we can just kind of follow the process along. But the standards haven't changed. The standards are the same as they've always been, according to him. But
They
I'll
just weren't
follow.
enforced.
Probably they weren't enforced. This is just, he just formalizing the process. So
Right.
And maybe he was referring to this document,
It could have been.
that's what he's referring to, the flow
which is
chart.
great. So, perfect.
April?
I think Tim covered most of everything from council, except there is a town hall Wednesday, if you feel like coming to hang out there. And I am really pleased that together the DDA and the village manager have come up with this kind of template for an economic developer / DDA director, interim or not, because it still takes a load off of his plate, which I think fulfills the desire of what council was looking for when they said village assistant manager slash DDA director. I mean, to them, I think it'll still fulfill what they were looking for. So I think it's great, and I'm really glad that this work's being done. I think it'll be a source of unity for us going forward, and will hopefully negate some of the contentiousness that's been going on between all of us. So I appreciate your hard work, and I don't appreciate the naysaying, but thank you again, and that's it for me.
Okay. It is 8:09. This meeting's adjourned. Our next board meeting is September 8th, 6 PM, right here. You know what? She doesn't have a contingent plan for, you know.
The baby, nobody can help her
You know
out.
what I did when my second son was born? I took him to work with me.
Well, the problem is when you're in a commercial kitchen, you can't be breastfeeding your child in a commercial kitchen.
You don't have to breastfeed in the kitchen.
But I think it's also, she thought she was gonna have help with a spouse, and that has all fallen through, and, yeah,
Single mom, just make yourself
they broke up, yeah. They didn't get married.
Oh my gosh.
I know, when I saw her selling her dress, I thought, well, it's just because she's pregnant, you know, and, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think she's trying to find somebody that can transition.
She is trying to sell
I
it.
think she has somebody. I talked to her today.
Thank you.
Yeah. She's feeling good about it. Yeah.
Because it does bring a whole different demographic into town.
Yeah. Yes. So she's got some good, yes, conversations.
But I think she's done, I think she's due at the end of the month, so I think she's done, one way or the other, yeah.
Yes.
So,